step-siblings, snake smut, mafia. What do all of these things have in common? I have read them all, which means we can officially rank them. So in today's video, we're taking some of the most popular book tropes out there and ranking them from ick to iconic. Strap in, folks. I made sure to save the best for last. We're starting strong with fake dating. And I'm gonna be honest, I was never a big fan of fake dating. It was one of the most unrealistic tropes out there because I cannot imagine a single person going to another and being like, do you want to be my fake boyfriend? But it's also because in all of my years on this earth, I never thought I could get a real boyfriend. So even agreeing for someone to be my fake boyfriend seemed like a bit of a reach. But, you know, it's fiction. Let's put logic aside. When I read like that the fake dating trope is involved, I'm like, oh, I can already guess where this is going.
They've never met before, or it's like a brother's best friend kind of situation. They both agree to fake dating each other because there's some sort of mutually beneficial relationship here. And one of them has stronger feelings than the other. It's usually the guy who falls last, but he falls harder. And then it's the girl who's like,
we need to keep this casual. No feelings.
Well, meanwhile inside she's like,
oh my god, there's so many feelings.
And then some sort of third act breakup winds it out, and lo and behold, they live happily ever after when they finally succumb to their feelings and just, you know, kiss.
I can't go into further detail than that. And to play therapist here for like a hot minute, if the fake dating trope is one of your favorites, there's undoubtedly a level there that you're wishing somebody would fall in love with you while you're not pretending. As in by just being yourself and not even trying to appeal to this person because it's just fake dating and they still manage to fall in love with you. That feels even more important, which is cute but also entirely sad. Not to dissect your love for book tropes though. I also did just finish reading the second book of the Windy City series, which is a fake dating book, but it was like wildly entertaining. In order for me to enjoy it, it really depends on the book. If the book is well written, I can handle the trope, and it has to have like enough twists in there to keep me engaged and keep me entertained. If it's like too obvious and there's not enough stakes involved, I'm just gonna skip through it. I think I'm gonna have to rank the trope in the mild spectrum. The second trope is Amnesia. It's been a hot minute since I've read an Amnesia trope. I feel like the last one was probably some sort of Wattpad fanfiction.
Some band member who like gets in a car accident and a girl comes to save him and he doesn't remember that he's like super hot and famous.
Which, you know, a teen self consumed that by the bucket load and she saw no issue with it. But now, as an adult, I can't stand it. I'm gonna be honest. It's the same as the fake dating one. It's like, you know where this is going to go, right?
She's gonna lie to him and not tell him how important or famous he is. And then he's gonna start slowly falling in love with her and she's gonna start slowly falling in love with him. And then there's gonna be some moment where like some light bulb thing where he realizes who he is and that she's been lying to him all along. Third act breakup comes in. And then there's a meet cute again, and now that he remembers everything, he remembers to fall in love with her again, and you know, the end. Happy ever after.
And if the Amnesia trope is your favorite, I'ma kiss this brick before I throw it at your face. I think in your mind, only someone who has had no contact with the outside world could ever love you. And like, child, just get help. I think you are just too far gone and hopeless. In a hypothetical world where a book where the Amnesia trope is presented to me, I'm gonna burn it. I will not pick that up. It's going straight onto the ick pyramid. Next, we're talking accidental pregnancy. This is so divisive. I feel like you either love an accidental pregnancy story or you hate it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I hate an accidental pregnancy, unexpected pregnancy, pregnancy of any kind. And could I track that to my trauma of reading Mpreg when I was like 12? Yes, I could. There's a pretty clear line there. That being said, because I was reading the entire like series by Elsie Silver, I did read Reckless. The entire premise is like one night stand accidental pregnancy, and it was the most stomachable accidental pregnancy. It was very, very good, and I would really recommend it. The entire series was just so cozy, giggling, kicking your feet, small town romance. I also love the Hayes Brothers series, and that book series also has an accidental pregnancy. I also read it. I also liked it. The trick to me is like, if you're gonna give me an accidental pregnancy, just shove it between different books that I actually like, and I will be able to finish the book. But still, it's gonna go on the ick level. If you do love the pregnancy trope, I don't think we can be friends. We could not be further apart as humans. I don't even know what that says about you. I think you just need professional help, and I mean that with the most amount of kindness in my heart. Okay, we're getting more controversial as we go along. Next up on our list, love triangle. Oh my god, the dichotomy here. I am the biggest hypocrite on the face of the earth. The more I make this video, the more I realize it. Let's start at the beginning. So I wrote this book called Lavender Bay. I started writing it when I was like 15. There is a love triangle there. It spans across 3 books. So clearly I was committed to the love triangle trope as a teen. And then I picked it up like 10 years later and I actually finished the books. You can read them Kindle Unlimited, clearly there is a commitment in me to the love triangle trope. But when I tell you, I despise it. I am talking, I will block you on social media if you even suggest a love triangle book. Have I ever been in a love triangle in real life? No. Do I have any reason to hate a love triangle trope? Also no. But I feel like there's an ethical and moral dilemma in me. It's a bit like cheating, and it shouldn't be, but it feels like it is. Why are multiple people involved here? Just pick one. Just stay loyal. It should not be this hard to just pick a fella or pick a girl. I also find it very weird that you very rarely have a love triangle where there's a guy and two girls. Am I right? I feel like I am.
And I'm like, if the dude had two girls and he couldn't pick between the two of them, and he kept playing around with both of their emotions, the entire book world would be in upheaval. We would be tossing this book into the stake like it's some kind of possessed object.
But somehow, if it's a girl and two guys, everyone's like a lot more willing to entertain this. Is there a level of, God, I wish two people were in love with me at the same time at play here? Yes, probably. Not to play psychotherapist, but considering most of us are in our own little worlds, reading these things and not like outside in the wild, I do believe there's a very high level of, God, I wish I was in such a dramatic relationship myself. But to no one's surprise, it's going on the ick tier. If there was a lower tier than the ick tier, I would shove love triangle romance there. Next trope is the second chance romance. And I have a hard time in my head distinguishing from second chance romance to childhood best friends to lovers. Even though I know it's not like that, in my head it feels like those tropes really overlap. And once again, donning my therapist hat, I do feel like if a second chance romance is your favorite, it's probably because wish one of your exes sampled all that there is to sample out there and realize they missed out on you and then come back crawling. And I understand the appeal there. But going back to the book, I was never like a fan. I read The Words by A. Jade, which really swayed my opinion. I get it. Because it's sort of like if two people were destined to be together, then somehow they will find a way to be together again. And it's really sweet and obviously appealing to me because I am a softie at heart, but I will not let you tell anybody that. So in our book trope scale, it is not iconic. It is not like, give it to me right now, shove it down my throat. Ew. Sorry. But it's also not an ick. I'm gonna put it on the mild to icon tier. I won't like go out looking for it, but I won't say no to it. I will kind of like, ah, that sounds fun, and I will pick it up. The next trope is arranged marriage. Listen, I love a bit of mafia romance, and what is mafia romance without some arranged marriage in there? There's some dark romance authors out there like Rena Kent who dabble in mafia. They really set the bar, you know? To be completely honest, I do think the reason I liked arranged marriage so much is because I don't even have to do any of the work. The love of my life is just handed to me. Oh, please. Sign me up. I do feel like my own traumas are shining through in this video. Me doing interpersonal relationships, it's so difficult. Then when I'm like reading these books and it's like, oh yeah, your beloved is handed to you on a silver platter, I'm like, that's the flavor. That's what I want. Give it to me.
Show me to me, please.
There's so many books out there as well that do arranged marriage so well. It's always morally grey guy who has tons of money, who loves to spoil you, who sees your past and is like,
You think your past is dark? My past is dark. I'm gonna protect you from all your demons.
if there's a guy out there in the mafia that is looking for a bride, right here, buddy. I promise I clean up nice. I don't know how to shoot a gun. I've never stabbed someone, but I could learn. I could go down on that, you know? Who knows? I could get down to that. No. Anyway, icon. Next trope is Grumpy Sunshine. I have so many thoughts on this. A lot of books nowadays that get popular take Grumpy Sunshine and just make it rude and infantilized.
It's always like, this dude is so nauseating to be around. Like, he is the worst. Impolite, rude, punches people, not even morally great. We're talking this guy is a pure mean mother.
While this girl was raised on like Disney princess cereal, has never seen the real world and acts like a literal toddler. And I'm meant to believe that these two characters fall madly in love with each other. Like, I'm sorry, is there an adult present? Because no. And I love a morally grey character, do not get me wrong. But I feel like these dynamics of Grumpy Sunshine, oh, so many people are missing the mark on it. If you want like a good Grumpy Sunshine, I just did a video on Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth. That's good Grumpy Sunshine. And I also really love when it's the inverse of Grumpy Sunshine. So she's the one that's a little more distant and he's the one who's like life of the party and sees the world through rose-colored glasses. He injects some of his joy into her life and makes her see that things aren't just like all negative. Oh my god, I love it. It's so sweet. When it's done well, I vibe with Grumpy Sunshine and I have to put it on the icon list. And if you have any suggestions for good Grumpy Sunshine that is not rude infantilized, please let me know in the comments because I will feed on that. Next on the tropes list is mistaken identity. It's not something that pops up a lot in the kind of books that I read, but I do read quite a lot of dark romance. It's not like a very common trope, I guess, but the one that I have read and that like completely changed everything for me is The Fucking Wrong Number by C.R. Jane. I don't even know if it counts as mistaken identity. Okay, it's a dark romance. Read the trigger warnings because it is heavy. Basically, she or he texts the wrong number and we fall in love via text. So fun, so good. The entire Fucking Wrong series is like a 10 out of 10. I would recommend it to my dying day. Also, he's a hockey player and all of the book series are hockey players, so if you're into hockey, dark romance, feast yourself in what you're about to read. But back to the trope itself. If it pops up in a book, I'm not gonna be like, oh, not this again. I would say it doesn't strike me as an iconic trope by any means. Something that anybody would just be like,
oh my god, I love the mistaken identity trope. It's the best book trope around.
and I'm sorry if it is for you, in which case, you know, jump in the comments and bash me. It's a mild trope. It's out there, it exists, we read it. We do not frown our noses upon it. And that's okay. Sometimes that's all we need. Okay, and the next book trope is enemies to lovers. Can you see I'm already so red?
And not obvious. Not obvious. Not obvious enough.
I love an enemies to lovers trope. Penelope Douglas knows how to do it quite clearly. There is just something so pure about it. And I will psychoanalyze myself because I know where my love of the enemies to lovers trope comes from. I was always quite an outcast as a child, so the idea that all of the people who did not like me turn around and realize they are madly in love with me, oof, definitely holds its appeal. And reading about it is also quite fun. I also have some stipulations here. I don't like when it's enemies to lovers, but it's just like,
Oh, these people kind of hated each other for like 2 chapters, but it wasn't even really hate. They just bickered for a little bit. And now they're madly in love.
that's not enemies to lovers. Like I mentioned, I'm reading the Wendy series. I'm reading Caught Up. That is not enemies to lovers. They're lying to you, okay? Because these people, they never hated each other. They had like a mild dislike for literally 1 chapter. 17 pages in, gone. And this happens so often and I hate it. There has to be a profound hate. I'm talking these people are doing despicable things to each other. Like they are dragging their families into this. Physically ruining each other's lives. All because deep down they just want to be around each other but they don't realize they want to be with each other in that way. It is so good when we take the strong emotions, shift it to the other pendulum, and it's always like an angry fight scene where they're arguing with each other. They sort of get really close to each other, face to face, and then it's like eyes lock, hearts beat at the same time. They kiss and it's steamy and it's against a grimy wall and I'm just over here like, whew, that's what we were waiting for. It always makes me giggle, squeal, kick my feet. I also know that there's bound to be a happy ending and these people are gonna end up together, blah, 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 blah. But it is so fun. And I have read this in so many different scenarios and it is always so interesting. I can read an enemies to lovers, the exact same story in a slightly different font and never ever get sick of it. Fanfiction taught me well. I can read about the same pairing in 50 different universes and still love every second of it. It is my icon. I cannot think of a single book trope that tops an enemies to lovers. I have so many enemies to lovers book suggestions. I could do an entire video just dissecting them all. So if you're into that, please let me know in the comments. And I am more than happy to do so. Here's our final ranking. I will not be taking criticism. And shout out to Cassie who commented on my last video and said she was really excited. Thank you so much for enjoying my videos and supporting my channel. I hope you enjoyed this one.